Local art leaders say creativity plays a major role in education, culture, and the economy, but creative leaders say art is under pressure as policy decisions at the state and federal levels evolve. WIFR's Miriam Niesmeyer talks with art advocates from across Illinois who came together to discuss what's at stake for arts funding, education, and creative workers.
Creativity matters so much that it is under pressure right now.
Illinois arts advocates say creativity is more than just an expression. It's tied to education, economic opportunity, and community identity.
When cultural resources become unstable, communities lose identity, economic mobility, and pathways for young people to thrive.
As the opening day for the 2026 legislative session begins, art leaders discuss potential challenges during the State of the Arts and Culture Sector webinar.
Across the country, we're seeing attempts to control, erase, politicize, or silence creative expression and cultural heritage.
Mary McNamara Bernstein with the Rockford Area Arts Council says access to arts and culture play a key role in overall well-being.
People who are enriched by arts and culture have increased happiness, increased mental health, increased physical health, increased success in their jobs. It is data-driven.
During the briefing, advocates discuss what they describe as federal arts education crisis, pointing to staffing losses and uncertainty in schools.
It's showing up in teachers being let go and not positions, teachers leaving and not positions not being rehired. So we're losing ground in our schools here already.
Art leaders say while major federal cuts haven't happened yet, uncertainty around education funding has schools and organizations on edge.
And that's why we're fighting so hard to keep the funding that currently exists.
In the state line, Miriam Niesmeyer, WIFR News.
Leaders say another discussion is planned for this spring during the Arts Alliance Illinois Annual Capitol Day. Art leaders plan to travel to Springfield to advocate for arts-related policy priorities.